Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Kyra and today's video is my top 5 ride or die makeup products. If you're new here, a very special welcome to you. I hope you will consider subscribing before you leave if you like what you see today. And this little concept, this little taggy tag was created by my girl Angela over at Beauti By Angela here on YouTube. I'll have her as well as her original video linked down below. And this is basically from Angela's explanation. If somebody came into your home, decided to take all of your makeup from you, but you could save 5 products, what would those products be, with the understanding that you may never be able to purchase these products again? Scary, right? This was super hard for me, and I do have a couple of honorable mentions just to keep things interesting, give you a little extra something. So let's go ahead and get into it because I like to talk. So the first product is just perfect for me, and the reason why I would keep this one is because it's so perfect for me. It's not just perfect for me in the winter or in the fall or the summer or whatever. This is perfect for me all the time, all year long, and that is, shocker, the Missha BB cream, the Missha Perfect Cover BB cream. That is, I purchased mine on Amazon and they're very reasonable on there, as well as you can find more of the shades on there generally than if you order it from Yes Style. It also ships a lot quicker, so I just have to have this. There's no way I could live the rest of my life without my Missha BB cream. It's perfect. It's what I have on my skin today. I love that it looks like skin, it feels like skin. I can set it, I cannot set it. I love it. I have 2 shades here, that's why I'm holding up 2. I have shade 23 and 27, and when I'm at my palest, 23 works beautifully, but throughout the year as I gain and lose a little bit of natural color from the sun, I do mix in however much of the 27 that I need. Also, 27 is a little bit more warm tone than the 23. It's just a beautiful product. It supposedly has skincare benefits in it, and I can definitely tell the difference in my skin when I've been wearing this one consistently compared to using other heavier foundations or just other foundations in general. I think the ingredients in here are very, very good, and it also has an SPF 42 PA+++, which is never a bad thing to add to your already sunscreened face. The next product I'm keeping because this product was the end of a very, very, very long journey to finding the right one for me. Again, like the Missha BB cream, this one is just perfect for me, and I don't ever want to be without it again, so I'm keeping my Glossier Stretch Concealer. This might not be a surprise to you if you've been watching my channel most recently, because I cannot put this stuff down. I'm still trying other concealers like a dodo, just because curiosity kills this cat with concealer every time. I have 2 shades here. I have G10, which is just like a tiny bit more peachy, so when I have, you know, extra dark bags under my eyes, which isn't too often, I will use that one. I also really like this more peachy tone for covering the melasma over my upper lip. But I also have the shade G9, and this one's a little bit more yellow and is actually a very, very perfect brightening tone for under my eyes. I always feel weird using a very yellowy concealer, but it does seem to blend in with my very warm skin tone quite beautifully. So I love both of these. I typically apply them either with my finger, or for the melasma over my upper lip, I'll dip my clean beauty blender directly into the product and then just press that on the upper lip. I've also used this a little bit like a foundation, which is one thing I really like about this. If I'm going overnight somewhere and I don't want to take a bunch of stuff, I can just take this, use it under my eyes as well as to even out my skin tone a little bit in certain areas. It's emollient, but not too emollient to where it creases all day long, but it's just emollient enough that with the heat of your finger, you can really work that into your under eye so it becomes a part of that skin versus just sitting on top of the skin. Love it. Next, I absolutely had to have a bronzer. I've been really into bronzer lately for some reason, and I don't know why. I think I need so many options, especially when these two, one's an honorable mention. These two are probably my favorite in my collection. I like all of my other bronzers or I wouldn't keep them, but let's just talk about these. Shall we talk about the runner-up first? Let's do it. Some of you may have been expecting me to put this in as my #1 bronzer that I have to have ride or die product, and it's very, very close. It's the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Bronze It. I have mine in the shade Light. By the way, I didn't mention it at the beginning of the video, but I have my umbrella lights turned off because they just get very, very hot, and with the good lighting today, I don't feel like I need it to show you these products. Looks like this. This is in the shade Light, and you guys know I love this bronzer. It's absolutely stunning. It's definitely a beautiful formula. It looks beautiful on the skin. It's very glowy. However, the one I am professing my top 5 ride or die love to is this Clinique Powder Pop Flower Bronzer in the shade Solar Pop. The reason I picked this one over the L'Oreal one is I don't think I will find another one like this. This is definitely a really interesting formula in a good way. It's very similar to the Cheek Pops. It's this one right here. It's very similar to their It's very similar to their Cheek Pop formula with their blushes. It's very firm, but when you pick it up, because you don't pick as much up on your brush, it really just melts into the skin. It's practically blends itself, and this particular color happens to be a really great color for me right now. It is the bronzer I have on today. Just look at that nice glow. This is not glowy. There's no shimmer in it at all that I can tell. It's just that hard pressed formula that Clinique does so well that just blends into the skin effortlessly, looks beautiful every time. And like I said, I love this shade for me. It has like a rosy red undertone to it, which is exactly what my skin actually looks like when I catch a tan, which is not very often, but I love this bronzer. I would never want to live without it. Pretty sure I could find something similar enough to this that I would keep this one. Alright, blush. You might just as well have asked me to choose between my 2 children because I have way too many blush, like in the 40s, like, and number wise. And so to pick just one was near impossible, but I knew that I would grab a blush if someone was going to take all of my makeup away from me. And so again, we have a runner up here. These are 2 of my absolute favorite products in my collection. The runner up, which until this morning actually probably would have been the one I've chosen, but then I looked in my blush drawer again. I just wanted to make sure, and I was like, no, actually this other one is the one that I would pick. So the runner up is the Clinique Cheek Pop in the shade Fig Pop. This is just like my perfect color of blush. It's, you know, a fig shade, but if you don't know what a fig shade is, it's kind of like a terracotta coral shade. That was a nasty swatch. Sorry, the birds are very Twitter-pated, but it's so beautiful I hesitate to close the window. This is what it looks like. Again, it looks luminous and gorgeous, but there's not a speck of shimmer in there. It's just that firmly pressed, finely milled formula that again Clinique does so well. So this is my favorite blush shade in my collection. I've had it for a long time. I use it quite a bit. But the one that I love the most, that is the most perfect for me, and that I wouldn't want to live without, is the ColourPop Super Shock Chic in the shade Between the Sheets. You can see that I have quite a lot of pan in here, and that's because I love it. Again, it is the blush that I'm wearing today, but this is just like my perfect rosy pink blush. This is more of a dusty rose, but it's like more of a warm rose, so the dusty part makes it work with more cool tone looks, whereas the warm rose kind of undertones to the product make it work with warm tone looks like it is today. It's very, very beautiful. I love the formula. It's really easy to apply. That's one of the things I like about it. Again, if I go overnight somewhere, I can take this and not bring a blush brush because I can apply it with my fingers, and it's just a cool product. I realized that these had their heyday already on YouTube pretty far back, but this is still a really good product. This is absolutely a product that I would recommend to a beginner because it's so easy to use, and you can use your fingers so you don't have to have a lot of tools, but it also just applies beautifully. I think, you know, it just, and it melds in with my bronzer so beautifully. I love this product, and this would be the one for sure that I would pick and run for the hills with if somebody was going to take the rest of my makeup. Now, just for gits and shiggles, if you would like to place your guess down in the comments below, I would love to hear which eyeshadow palette you think I chose, because you knew that there had to be an eyeshadow palette in here, right? I love eyeshadow, can't live without it, period, end of story. I'll wait for a moment. Just kidding. All right. Maybe some of you guessed, maybe some of you didn't. It's the Persona Identity palette. I feel like I would be happy to go out and buy more eyeshadow palettes in the future, but not if I couldn't have this one. This one is perfect. It has two of my favorite eyeshadows in my entire collection, which are this one right here called Bombshell and this one right here called Seductive. Yep. And these shadows are just life. Look at that. Oh, I could just sit here and do this all dang day. They look like liquid metal. They're so smooth, so they look absolutely phenomenal. Even if you have textured eyelids or really dry eyelids, you know, whatever the case, if you're very mature, that is also a great formula for that. This is just perfect for me. This sort of champagne-y, not champagne-y, it's really like a cream shimmer is also really gorgeous. One of my favorites in my collection. Sorry. Right here. So I just love this, and it works for every occasion for me. It works for every day. It works. This is the eyeshadow palette I wore for my sister's wedding. It's a great date night palette that I love to wear out with my husband. I'll just really diffuse this purple in the crease and transition and go in with this gorgeous like metallic taupe color on top, and it's just gorgeous. I've never created a look with this palette that I wasn't happy with, and I think I've had this palette for almost 2 years now. I'm not for sure. It's been around for a long time. If you've been around on my channel for a long time, you'll know that I talk about this in every favorite top 5 blah blah blah, best formula, best palette, the whole thing. I always talk about this palette. It is definitely at the very tippy top of my collection. Now, if I wanted to get sentimental, there's probably other palettes that I would choose, but that being said, this is the one I could not live without. If you take my entire eyeshadow collection, please don't, but leave me this one, and it's the best. That's all there is to it. Top 5, baby. And that's it. This was really fun. I am going to tag 5 people down in the description box to also film this little tag roundup of products created by Beauty by Angela. Make sure you go check out Angela's video, which will be linked down below. Hers went up a couple days ago. If you're a creator and I didn't tag you below, I tag you. And with all of that said, I hope all of your makeup days are absolutely top 5 ride or die makeup days. And I will see you in my next video real soon.